Okay, sometimes when we subtract mixed numbers, we have to borrow in order to get the answer. And so this is that kind of problem. Let me show you how to do that. It's not really too hard. First, I always subtract the fraction parts. 1/3 minus 7/9. But you remember that I cannot do that because when we subtract fractions, the bottoms have to be the same. Thirds and ninths, they're not the same. But I can make these two the same simply by multiplying 3 times 3 here. And when I do that, I get a 9 on the bottom. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to get a 9 on the bottom. I'm going to write that right over here. And if I multiply the bottom by 3, then I have to multiply the top by 3. So I will do that. 1 times 3 is 3. So I've rewritten 1/3 into an equivalent fraction, 3/9. And now I can bring the 7/9. Well, let's do this first. Let's move the whole number over here so we keep it all together. I have 5 3/9, which is the same as 5 1/3. And then minus 3 7/9. So now I'm rewriting the problem so that now I have ninths on the bottom. And now I can go ahead and subtract. 3/9 minus 7/9. Well, I thought I could go ahead and subtract, but I can't, because I can't say 3 minus 7. I am going to have to go and borrow from the 5. Now there's a little trick I'm going to show you. I'm going to go ahead and borrow, first of all, I'm going to borrow 1 whole. I'm going to change that to a 4. And the trick is this. Add these two numbers together. 3 plus 9 equals 12. Cross off the 3 and then write that 12 right there. So I've rewritten the mixed number. 5 3/9, it's now 4 12/9. It's the same value. It's just written differently. And now, because I rewrote it, I can subtract. I have 12/9 minus 7/9. Well, ninths, and then ninths stay the same on the bottom. And then 12 minus 7 is 5. And then the whole numbers, 4 minus 3 is 1. So there's my answer, 1 5/9. 5 1/3 minus 3 7/9 equals 1 5/9. I borrowed. First I put them over the same denominator. Then I borrowed. Then I added those two together and put the answer right there at the top. And then I subtracted. Let's do another one. Okay, let's do something similar. Let's do something like 8 1/6 minus 3 and 5/9. Let's do that problem. Okay. Step 1, I have to make sure they're over the same denominator. Well, I have 6ths and I have 9ths. But you remember, to find the least common multiple, the number that can be on the bottom, let's count by the highest number first. Let's count by 9s. Let's find multiples of 9. 9, 18, 27, 36. I'll stop there. Now let's find multiples of 6. 6, 12, 18. Oh, look. 18 is a multiple of 6. And 18 is a multiple of 9. So let's put 18 on the bottom. I'm going to do that over here. I'm going to put an 18 on the bottom. I'm going to put an 18 on the bottom here, because that's the least common multiple, or the LCM. Now, to get the 18 here, I had to multiply by 3. 6 times 3 equals 18. So, because I do times 3 here, I have to do the same thing to the top. You remember, 1 times 3 is 3. And then to get an 18 on the bottom here, I had to say 9 times 2. 9 times 2 is 18. So I have to do the same thing to the top. I did times 2 here. I do times 2 right here. 5 times 2 is 10. Now I've rewritten 1/6 and 5/9 as equivalent fractions, but they have the same denominator. So now let's just cross that off. Let's bring this 8 over here. 8 1/6 is equal to 8 3/18. Let's bring this 3 over here. And now let's subtract. Okay? 3/18 minus 10/18. Oh, I can't do it because I can't say 3 minus 10. I can't take it away. So I have to borrow. So remember how to do that? I'm going to cross out the 8 and I'm going to write a 7. And then I'm going to add these two together. 3 and 18 is 21. So I'm going to cross off the 3 and I'm going to write 21. That's the trick. I borrow, add those two together, and then write the answer right there. Now I can subtract. 21/18 minus 10/18. That's easy. I get an 18 on the bottom. And then 21 minus 10 is 11. And now I subtract the whole numbers. 7 minus 3 is 4. 8 and 1/6 minus 3 and 5/9 equals 4 and 11/18. First I found equivalent fractions over 18. Then I borrowed. I added those two together, crossed that off, and wrote the answer there. And then I subtracted. Okay? If you follow the steps, you'll get it right every time.